China's economy is now the world's second largest, but what I hear are the big four social concerns: healthcare, education, housing, retirement. Xi Jinping, China's new leader, said, "The Chinese people yearn for better education, greater social security, improved healthcare." Are the Chinese people really happy? China, the largest population on Earth, the greatest transformation in history. Yet, change causes problems. This year, China has new leaders. Here are the challenges they face. China's challenges. I'm Robert Lawrence Kuhn. An ancient Chinese philosopher described the perfect Chinese society as living in harmony, treating others as family, love and caring for the elderly, nourishment and education for children, kindness and compassion for widows, orphans, the disabled, and the sick. Historically, such harmony is the standard of happiness. But now, after vast economic development, are the Chinese people really happy? What I hear are the big four social concerns: healthcare, education, housing, retirement. These challenges are what China's new leaders face.
Central Committee of the Communist Party of China held its first plenary meeting and elected the new members of the Standing Committee of the Political Bureau. I'm delighted to invite the newly elected members of the Standing Committee of the Political Bureau to meet Chinese and foreign press.
On November 15th, 2012, Xi Jinping became the new General Secretary of the Communist Party of China and thus China's most senior leader. In his down-to-earth inaugural speech, Xi said, "Our people yearn for better education, stable jobs, more satisfactory income, greater social security, improved medical and health care." Now President of China as well, Xi Jinping calls the Chinese dream the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. This series, China's Challenges, lays out what China must change to make the Chinese dream a reality. I'm Robert Lawrence Kuhn. I've engaged with China and its leaders for 25 years. I wrote the book, How China's Leaders Think. In this episode of China's Challenges, I ask, are the Chinese people really happy? It's 7:30 a.m. I arrive at Renji Hospital, one of Shanghai's best. The lobby is packed, many people having waited for hours. Healthcare affects everyone, and China's healthcare system suffered severely in the transition from a planned economy to a market economy. Today, no one is satisfied. Patients, doctors, society, everyone complains. The challenges of healthcare are systemic. I speak with patients waiting to see doctors.
Where are you from?
我是从江西来的。
Jiangxi. Why did you come here to this? It's very far from Jiangxi. Why did you come
他
here?
们都给我介绍这个仁济医院看病、检查各方面都很好，态度也很热情。
6点多出来，到刚刚来，到这里面或画画、干或做学看。
And how long have you been waiting here?
从挂号到看医生，起码1个半小时要等。
Have you seen the doctor here before?
看过，
Oh, 看过。
哎，
Yeah. And when you see the doctor, how long are you with the doctor?
和医生交流，总共是差不多5分钟左右。
How many people are usually here during this period?
For one day, almost 8,000. 8,000 to maybe 10,000.
Wow. And where are the people from? Are they from Shanghai or from other areas?
Half from Shanghai, half from another province.
Too many people, too few resources, and such vast disparities in the quality of health care. The major hospitals are besieged and the best doctors overwhelmed. I wonder how the financing works.
How many patients do you handle a day? When are they paying? Before they have the service, after, and how do you determine how much money they owe?
我们的一个工作人员每分钟要接待1.5个病人。如果是自费病人的话，他过来是全额付现金；如果是医保病人的话，他仅支付除了医保不支付的外的，他和医保是按比例分摊费用的。
So if Renji is one of the few top-rated hospitals in Shanghai, is overcrowded and chaotic, what does this imply for all healthcare in all China? I asked the head of the hospital.
就我所掌握的一些情况来看，我们国家最大的问题是医疗资源的布局。一个是总量还不够，就是整个医疗资源布局，包括医务人员、医院设施等等、床位等等这些医疗资源的总量还是短缺的。更大的问题呢是东西部之间、不同地域之间、城乡之间，这个医疗资源的布局还不合理。大部分大的医疗资源都集中在大城市，像上海啊、北京啊。
But with the demand of patients so high and the supply of doctors so low, can patients see the right doctors at the right time?
我们没有一个很好的一层一层转诊制度，有效的把病人就是说分散到他和他这个患病的这个难度就是相适宜的医生那边进行治疗。那么大家没这个信息的时候，自然而然就找好医院。 好医院里面找专家医生，大家都去排专家医生，那你这个这个资源的使用，这个一定是会紧缺，然后呢又是浪费。
Another more insidious problem is the culture of hung bao, or the so-called red envelopes, stuffed with cash that patients must all too often use to bribe doctors in order to get medical attention.
我认为，即使在我这个医院，我不能说我这个医院没有红包，但是我们一旦发现这样一个红包，一定会按照医院或者政府有关部门的一些规章制度，对相关医务人员进行严肃查处。这个现象在我个人理解是在减少，但是人情的一些往来肯定还是会存在。
I've heard from patients and administrators. I now go to the front lines of the healthcare battle and hear from a doctor. Wang Jian is a chief physician in Renji Hospital's General Surgery Department. He has been working like this for 10 years.
How many doctors handle those patients?
3 doctors a day, maybe treat more than 200 patients a day, just in outpatient department.
Just outpatient?
Yeah.
So that would be more than 60 patients a day, plus they're doing surgery also?
Yeah.
So that's very hard work. How many hours a day are the doctors working?
I work 12 hours a day.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so what's a typical day for you?
Every day, I go to the hospital at 7:30, and I will go to the clinical or do operation. Sometimes I will do administrative work. After work, I will do research or do teaching.
Dr. Wang is a skilled surgeon and dedicated doctor, but working this hard, this long, is just not sustainable. Renji Hospital was built to treat only 2,000 patients a day. it now handles 4 times that many. Something has to give. Care, costs, service, time. The gap between expectations and delivery is widening. The system is so dysfunctional that patients on occasion snap.
哈尔滨医科大学附属第一医院的一起恶性伤人事件备受社会关注。这起恶性伤害事件致1名实习医生死亡，3名医护人员受伤。
In your career here, having dealt with so many patients, have you ever had incidents where patients got angry at you personally?
他是一个很晚期的胆囊癌的病人，本来这个病人如果不做手术，那1个月里边就要死亡。现在这个病人就活了1年多了，但是就是这样的一个病人，在术后的一次随访的过程当中，因为我在跟同学上课，在读片子，他在后面等了大概10分钟，他就不耐烦，不耐烦以后呢，这个当我去接待他的时候，就是脾气很暴躁，对我发火，而且说要杀了我。所以虽然后来这个病人的家属不是病人，是病人家属道歉了。但是这些事情对我们医务人员的伤害还是很大的。
It's summer holidays for Dr. Wang Jian and his family. His daughter hopes her dad can take her on a vacation to Hainan Island.
我希望他有更多的时间陪我。
辛苦，非常非常辛苦，他非常投入工作，非常非常热爱他的事业，所以我们全家人都非常的支持他。
现在有很多医生的家庭啊，他不喜欢子女做医生，那我确切相反，我还是很鼓励我女儿将来去做一个医生，觉得这是一个很高尚、很伟大的职业。如果你再让我选一遍，我还是会选择做医生，这是一个真心的话。我觉得幸福是一种平衡，最主要的就是说能够我们节奏能够慢一点，我们的工作压力能够轻一点，能够有更多的时间来陪伴你。
Imagine a system in which you must wait for hours, where your doctors are overworked and underpaid, and when you finally see them, you get only 5 minutes. Healthcare problems are worldwide, but in China, healthcare conundrums are confounded by the huge population, gaps between rich and poor, and the shock of sudden social change. Healthcare solutions require massive resources and new trust. Although Renji Hospital overflows with waves of patients, the Pudong Tangqiao Community Hospital, which is right next door, is almost empty. Why? Why won't people walk a few steps and get care quicker? Are we back to trust? Tell me a little bit about this community hospital, how big it is, how many patients you have, how many doctors?
我们这里服务人群大概有8万多个，就是周围的居民，然后我们这全科医生一共的全科医生 ，family doctor 大概是14。
你是Shanghai人？
是上海人。
And why did you come to this community hospital and not the very famous hospital across the street?
因为我家离这里很近，然后呢，我得的是一个慢性病，慢性病嘛，大医院人很多，看起来也很紧张，也很麻烦，所以我选择呢在这里。
这个医院的话，我感到离家近。因为服务态度好，所以说对我们病人来说方便。
It seems this hospital is very sparse, not so many people here, whereas the big hospital is very crowded. Here is not so crowded.
大多数人，特别是年纪比较轻的，他还是觉得可能也是对医生的那个水平有点不是太信任。
If people don't trust doctors in this major city hospital, what happens in the really rural hospitals? In fact, medical resources in China are wildly uneven. In some rural areas, medical services are shockingly scarce. What has Shanghai been doing to improve that critical relationship between the doctor and the patient?
我们的基层医疗服务体系的建设，也就是对于我们社区卫生服务的综合改革，这是我们这一轮的医改的重点。主要的就是通过家庭医生服务制度。那我们上海是作为在全国来讲是家庭医生服务制的这个首先开始这个率先进行这方面改革的城市之一。
Shanghai is one of the first cities to implement the family doctor reform. I understand why rural residents flock to Shanghai and to other major cities for proper medical care. But for the whole nation, this too is just not sustainable. In 2009, Vice Premier Li Keqiang, now Premier, launched healthcare system reform. Making healthcare a basic public service accessible to all was a daunting task. In 3 years, basic medical insurance covered 1.3 billion people, 95% of China's population. And a rural cooperative medical service system gives most rural residents basic care. But still the disparity. That's the challenge I put to my old friend, Professor Zhang Weiwei, a robust defender of the so-called China model.
But we try to create a new model different from the US one, which is for us perhaps too market-oriented or too much captive of certain vested interests, or the European model, which is a welfare state, yet based on a financially unsustainable approach.
The Tongqiao Community Hospital is planning a transformation. Hospital director Wang Xuan, who has been working here for 8 years, explains.
那么整个这个诊区呢，我们将在年后就进行一个改建。那么这个改建的目标是什么呢？是我们再增加7个全科诊室。那这样呢，使我们目前的这个所有的全科医生都实现一个1人诊室。我们明年呢，还将以这里为基础，构建一个全科医生的个人工作室。那么使我们整个一个全科医学的服务再上一个新的台阶。
大医院呢有大医院的优势，他们的药可能好一点，多一点，但是他们呢，这个就是因为全国各地来的病人很多啊，那么有的时候呢比较敷衍了事的，就是我们话还没说完，他们药就开好了，基本上就这个情况。但到了社区医院呢，就不存在这个问题，而且呢，对每一位病源都很亲切。
因为我们是一个长期的责任关系，我们建立这样一个制度，我跟你，那么我是长期为你服务的，尤其在慢性病领域，我如果能够为你服务1年、2年、3年、5年之后，那么你的疾病控制到底如何？你的并发症是不是减少了？你所消耗的药品或者其他无效的检查和治疗，我是不是降下来了？因为我们责任关系明确，我就可以进行跟踪、评价。
Under China's new leaders, Shanghai enhanced policies to promote the family doctor system. For example, family doctors can now easily refer patients to specialists at first-class hospitals.
比如说，我们这里转到仁济对面的我们仁济院的对象，那么他就有一个挂号费的减免的优惠，这是第一个。第二件事情呢，转诊和中风中心呢，我们还可以给他提供一些全面的提供一些相应的背景资料，提供的完善一点，使他在那里少走弯路。
就说对我们来讲，老早可能我会觉得社区医院嘛，医生可能他这个医疗水平啊什么的，我们这方面会对我们平时也会有点放松，因为我觉得好像不会对我们要求太高。那么其实对我们业务上各方面的要求也提高了。
Yet healthcare reform has just begun, and no one is yet happy. Very few have access to world-class medical care, and disparities among classes remain very large.
Yes. Oh, yes. 我的中文还不好，对不起。没关系。你们从哪儿来的？
从老家来的。
你们喜欢上海吗？
喜欢。
为什么？
上海。
哦 ，beautiful，漂亮。再见，用英文吗？
All the students are children of migrant workers who have flocked to coastal cities from poorer inland provinces, enabling China's economic miracle. These kids are so vivacious. Sure, they're better off here than they'd be in their rural hometowns. But how will they feel when they realize they are not like the children of Shanghai residents? In China, there are more than 200 million migrant workers, peasants who have come to cities seeking a better life. In Shanghai, there are about 500,000 children of migrant workers, receiving compulsory education from elementary school through middle school. Municipal government funding supports their education. The schools offer a rigorous curriculum designed to prepare students for national examinations. As part of the national curriculum, they need to learn English.
你好，早晨好。
老师好。
我是美国人，你们说中国人对不对 ？Yes。哦，你们会说英文吗 ？Yes。说英文。谁说英文？
张磊来说。What's this, Daddy? Please look at the bed. It's purple. It has got it. What is it? It's sweet. I like it.
啊，明白。
Suen Kai is an 11-year-old in the 4th grade. A year ago, he transferred from a poor school in Anhui province. With the gap in education between Anhui and Shanghai so large, how will a child like Suen Kai ever adjust? I asked his teacher.
到了我们这里的时候呢，其实他是非常非常差的。比方说，他那个数学考试只有19分，他那个就是作文，他根本就不会写，就像造句一样的，一句一句的，确实是非常差。因为他就是很喜欢我们这个学校，他也是很不容易进来的，所以呢，他也很珍惜。
Suen Kai's father picks him up every day. How did he himself adjust to the radically new life in Shanghai?
As a worker who's come from another area to Shanghai, how was life when you first came here?
我本来就是农民出身，就是农民工啊，就是很艰苦的。当时来的时候，6点钟起来就是那个晚上要7点钟才能收工的。我记得第一份来上海的时候，我是在工地上，那个造房子那里面做那个电工。
How do the Shanghai schools compare to Anhui schools?
教学质量也不一样，教材也不一样。当时来的孩子都是有点不适应。
So how is he doing now? Has he been catching up?
当时来的时候是倒数第1名。 倒数第一，现在来了就能达到前10几名，前15名左右。
The schools you had back in your hometown, how did they compare to Shanghai?
地坪不像这种操场，我们这地坪都是石头子。好像今年已经建了操场了。上海老师教育很好。
爱的教育，用心去培养我们这些优秀的心灵。
Outside of school, what kind of lives do these children have? I visit the local market where many parents of Jinding students, all migrant workers, find hard scrabble jobs. Yang Shijun is from Henan, another poor province. For 12 years, he has worked this small butcher shop.
12-13个小时啊，去了吃饭睡觉都在这里。我们要干这行都干烦了，没办法，为了小孩儿，为了下一代孩子没办法，硬着头皮干。
Yang's family lives in this 50 square meter apartment. His son, Yang Chengwu, also goes to Jinding School.
Play football.
Play football.
Play table tennis.
Play table tennis.
His mother frets about his progress.
要不要我天天扒在你身边？但是再好的学习成绩差一点，你要靠你自己自觉，不光靠我。
当大人的都希望小孩是吧好一点，学习成绩好一点。你现在我们干啥呢？做生意干啥？现在也不行，他挣再多钱也为了小孩，指望小孩好一点，干啥大人心里舒服一点，是吧？别的干啥现在我们没啥能耐。
Chengwu's classmate, Wen Kai, also struggles with school. But for his family, life, finally, is getting better. After striving in Shanghai for a decade, Wen Kai's father now owns his own small business. Even for successful migrant families, their children cannot overcome structural barriers. They may dream of going to college, but they cannot. According to policy, if migrant children do not return to their home provinces when they reach 9th grade, they can apply only to vocational schools. Migrant workers contribute so much to these cities, and through education, they desire to change their children's fate. It's a challenge that China must face, and one I put to the headmaster of Chengwu's and Wen Kai's school. The fact that the migrant workers' children cannot do high school in Shanghai is a huge disadvantage to them, because then they're unable to go to college, and their careers are capped, and it's very difficult for them to become lawyers or doctors.
那么我们也希望呢，今后能够在上海他们能读高中，那么他们在上海也能够考大学了。
In late 2012, China's new leaders enacted a new policy that begins to redress this stark inequality.
Now, as the result of a new policy, children of migrant families will be able to take high school and university entrance exams where they live, and that's according to a State Council report. Now, the new policy allows migrant students to take entrance exams at their schools without the usual registration requirements. The local authorities expected to roll out the new policy by the end of this year.
It's none too soon. Restrictions on migrant children taking university entrance exams have triggered disturbances. In October 2012, just outside the Education Department of Beijing, a fight broke out between parents who are Beijing residents and parents who are migrant workers.
确实在推进这个基层务工人员实现子女的平等的这个受教育权和考试权方面，有所进步。但实际上，我们要注意到，第一，这样的一些政策，它的可持续性如何很难。我们现在虽然看到这么多城市都公布了一地高考政策，但其实即便开放的比较彻底的，或者门槛很低的，未来几年都有变化。
The Chinese dream is based on equality in education, and more parents are now fighting for the rights of their children. Conflicts are natural, and reform is demanded. Though new policies are in the works, real equality in education is far from assured. This challenge has many facets. Take the multitudes of rural children who have not moved to the major cities. They are called left behind children, almost 60 million of them, whose parents have migrated to the cities. Usually their parents return home only once a year, and then only for a short visit. Like Su and Kai's older sister, who is still back home in a small village, cared for by her grandparents, attending the local school.
肯定有时候很愧疚她，因为我老婆基本上每个月都回去一趟，包括现在，所以她我征求她女儿的意见，她说。爸妈，你们有这个心思我知道的，他也不想来，他就来了以后又要从头开始。
Left behind children in rural China, like Wen Kai's sister, has become a national heartbreak.
留守儿童的存在，它实际上会产生非常大的问题。我们现在还没建立起比较完善的这样的一个保障机制，在留守儿童里面可能就有部分的学生失学、辍学，那么这样的话就对我们的整个普及9年义务教育，它是一种非常大的影响，也会影响到整个国民素质的提高。
Educational disparities undermine the vitality of Chinese society. For many, the Chinese dream can never come true. In 2012, the government vowed that educational funding would grow to 4% of China's GDP, a major commitment to China's future. What do you guys want to be when you grow up? What do you want to study to become?
我想当音乐家。我想当博士。
不是，现在不是。没问题。
我想当天文家。
这个非常有意思，非常有意思。你必须学习非常好。你呢？
科学家。
科学家，我是科学家。我们一样。So can education be equal? This obvious challenge deals with the raw emotions of parents, deeply concerned about their children. Though China's leaders are focused on solving it, unequal education, born of social imbalances, remains one of China's most divisive problems. When I ask young adults in China's big cities, what's your biggest problem? They do not hesitate. Housing, they often exclaim. Housing prices. This is no revelation. China's leaders hear the same refrain. Beijing is the center of China's political culture, resonating China's history, radiating China's future. Those who move to Beijing are called Beijing Dream Pursuers. To own a home in Beijing is the ultimate goal. I cruise Beijing avenues and wander Beijing neighborhoods. how the city is transforming, rising, but not evenly for everyone. Hu Zhipeng is 34 years old. He's been working in Beijing for 11 years. His daughter is 4 years old. They all live in this 60-square-meter apartment. Their monthly rent is 2,800 RMB.
最主要压力还是来自家人吧，像我老婆和孩子，他们可能觉得没有一套房子，感觉不是很稳定。那我可能这方面还差一点，但是他们总在影响我。
之前啊，我们就是结婚的时候没有什么太大的感觉，压力也不是很大，觉得在哪儿都一样，只要两个人在一起就可以了。但是呢，有了孩子以后，可能考虑的就更多了一些。因为带着孩子四处的搬家，就觉得特别的没有安全感。然后呢，再一个就是说，父母双方这边给我们的压力也是比较大的。
Watching their daughter grow up, Hu Zhipeng and his wife are eager to purchase a home of their own. To check for apartments, every weekend he goes to the outskirts of Beijing, the Fifth Ring area.
对啊，我想买一个2居室，楼层在小板楼，房价总价在100万，
不能超过100万。
对，不能超过100万。
Who can afford a house only in Tongzhou, a suburban area beyond Beijing's Fifth Ring?
哎，帮看一下没？看房的。
Today, he's checking on an apartment in a building that was constructed in the 1990s. But he worries it is so far out of town. Even getting repairs would be hard, and the building owners do not offer any services.
他这个还能有商量的余地吗？
他跟你说多少商量
？95万。
95万有商量的，
有商量是吧？
我说要没有商量，我就不怎么考虑。
有商量。
关键是你是这样啊，我现在买你的话，我交的税交的也都高。
是，所有税
我当时我交的税还高呢，我那是咱们这就是可以商量嘛，这可以商量。
像7.5的话，加合着就7万多，7万块钱。
税呀？
再加上中介费就得10万。
对。
商量。
对，这个
我自己做不了主。我要行的话，我肯定就我工作在海淀区，在中关村，离这非常远了。我们单位有很多同事也都是在这边买的，因为大家都情况差不多嘛，都在北京工作的话，家不在这边的话，那只能在郊县来或者是5环，那5环以外买。学区房更贵了，那更没法，那这我在海淀区中关村一小附近的学区房都得6、7万一平，那根本卖不了。
Hu Zhipeng is part of what's called the sandwich class. People like him are caught between having too much money to qualify for public housing and not enough to buy private housing, at least not in the areas they'd like. Just how difficult would housing become for young people like Hu?
这10来年当中，我们这个大城市的价格，这个住房价格是快速的上升的。那么，可以说举上海的例子来说，这10年来，从01年到10年10年间，上海的新建的一个住房这个市场的一个价格呢，上升了3.2倍呀，很快3.2倍。那么这10年当中，同期这个上海的家庭的这个收入呢，只上升了1.62倍。那么很明显，这里有很大的一个差距。
Although housing prices today are a serious problem, housing conditions used to be worse. Many young people like Kuhn had to live in old, crowded, poorly constructed buildings, often far away on the outskirts of the city. Places like Tangjilin Village. Populations in villages like this swelled from a few thousand to upwards of 50,000.
以
呀，好家伙，我们这村里头，那赶上上下班的时候，连车你都过不去，那街里头街道上。
The government had to take action. They tore down old houses and began to build new apartment blocks as subsidized housing.
公租房，在这路边儿。
The Tangdar Village Party Secretary shows me the plan.
我们这儿有10万平米的公租房，它也是交给区住保办去管，他去住。按咱北京市呢，它有一个规定，就是说呢，北京市有一标准，要40%租给这个，大学生跟老师，还有40%呢要租给呢科技人员，剩下20%你可能面向社会。
In Shanghai, public rental housing is already helping the younger generation. But is it helping enough? To find out, I visit a young girl who recently moved into a new subsidized apartment.
那个可以带你参观一下我的这个，我的主卧。对，因为这个房子是我一个人住的嘛，这个是我的主卧，这个就是我的那个学习房，然后这边就是我的小客厅，然后这些东西因为都是刚搬进来，这边是我的洗手间。
多少
对，洗手间。你看，洗衣机也是刚买的然后。
This apartment is really wonderfully efficient. You have a beautiful apartment. How much do you pay every month for this apartment?
2680块钱这一层。
What is the requirement to be able to have this a beautiful house at such a modest price?
这个是一个是要么是上海户口，没有房子，名下没有房产，然后再一个就是人才引进居住证，然后在上海2年以上，就是人才引进居住证2年以上。 然后其他的没有什么要求，对于收入什么的都没有什么太大的要求。你也可以看看那边，那边就是复旦大学，复旦 University， 然后那边对，然后它是江湾校区。
This housing is great, but there are so many young people, and so few lucky enough to qualify. The housing price problem is severe. And the din of complaints, especially among young adults, is intense. The government has a major housing headache. How to control housing prices, but without harming the real estate market.
中央政府的调控是的抑制投机，对自住的需求，我买了一个自己住的，那么我们是鼓励，我们要调动。 要不要扩大内需、扩大消费？我们鼓励人民群众为了满足自己去购房。如果同自住需求相对应的，就叫他住需求。我买房，我不是自己住，我给第三者住，我给别人住，这投资一种方式。我认为我们国家一个允许，还有一种需求，它是空关在那儿，它等待房价上涨就抛售的，抛售的。那么我们称之这种需求叫无助的需求，对不对？是不是无助？ 那么这种需求，我们国家给抑制。
In China today, home ownership somehow has become precondition for marriage. In other words, kids or youngsters in their late 20s think they are entitled to home, private apartment.
That they own.
That's first of economics' greatest achievement. China's home ownership now is larger than any other countries in the world. But we have to change a bit our mentality, how to look at the issue. Most other countries, other people start first with renting and with some accumulation of capital, then begin their purchases of house. China should do the same. So we must readjust a bit, to my mind, to make the expectations more realistic.
Making expectations more realistic. Well, easy to say, but hard to do. And that's the challenge that China's new leaders face. China's leaders tell me that they need to stimulate the domestic economy by increasing consumption.
哎，你们忙吗？
我是美国人。
哦，好的。
But the Chinese people resist spending their money. They prefer to save. Why? They worry about retirement. Chinese society has become an aging society. Each year, the elderly population increases by 8 million. In Shanghai, people aged 60 and above constitute 25% of the population. Traditionally in China, with large families living together, caring for seniors was shared and easy. But now, with one-child families and careers demanding more work and more travel, who will care for the seniors? I visit the Fengling Second Nursing Home.
你好，你好，欢迎光临啊，老师你好，哎，我姓孙，孙老师。每天早起就在这里做新生技能锻炼，他们现在转的是健身环。你好，欢迎啊！自己会转，哎，你要不要试试啊？给你试试，你试试看转，不要靠手靠肩转，看拿这里。 看见没？要手要脚动，靠手靠肩，对。1、2、3、哎，对，5、6、7、8、9、10 ，OK， 很好。
告诉我一点关于这个地方。
你现在就在住的有110位老人，就是工作人员，你包括管理员一共37位，总的房间有45间房间。
How many applied and how many were accepted?
那我们到现在就已经有300，前后有300多个老人，但是这样我们回调的老人可能也有20、30个了。其实这里工作，其实。
I admire Sun Mei-chung.
你说简单的。
Since 2005, she's been taking care of old people. She knows everyone's condition.
You have a wonderful spirit.
I wish the world had more people like her.
你好，你好，哎，这是我们这里的护理员。你好，
你好，
你好。
Very nice. How long have you lived here?
我住了1年。
How often does your daughter come here to see you?
礼拜6、礼拜天来，那么儿子也来，女儿也来，他们在上班。
How many people here are over 80 years old?
80岁以上举手。80岁呀
我的妈妈在纽约，她是96岁。
哎，
我的妈妈。
阿伯，来给你洗脸啊。水烫不烫？不烫，正好啊。
Lu Himei is 89 years old. After a stroke disabled her 7 years ago, she came here.
我子女都很好，但是他们的工作很忙，我为了照顾他们才到这里来的。这里比家里方便，家里头要找一个人照顾我，黑夜白天的，他们过春节还要回家。 我就没办法。
Chinese society, like all societies in the world, are changing. It used to be in traditional Chinese society that the children took care of their parents and their grandparents in their house. And places for old people were never heard of before because the family was responsible. How do you see the change in Chinese society?
以前呢，就是在以前的人家有这种想法，就是送了敬老院就是不孝，以前老观念就是这样。现在呢，他要上班，他尽不了孝心，所以他给他父母老人要进老院的呢，一个呢解决后顾之忧，再一个呢，老人在这里也能就是安度他们晚年。
In downtown Shanghai, with the number of senior citizens increasing, it's now hard to find a nursing home vacancy. In response, the Shanghai government proposed that 90% of the elderly stay at home. But in Shanghai, as in all major cities, young people must be busy with their work and careers. How then can the elderly stay at home?
你好，谢谢你。
Seeking insight, I visit a typical Shanghai family.
你好。
你好，欢迎你光临。
谢谢。
请坐，请坐。你好。
Grandma Lu is 67 years old, and she struggles to take care of her elderly mother, who is 94 years old. Grandma Lu has 2 children, but her daughter lives in Canada, and her son has just started his own family. Now a new problem has arisen. Grandma Lu was recently diagnosed with cancer.
Is it difficult to take care of your mother by yourself?
有点累。我身体好的时候呢，没感到什么，但是我自己病了，我就感到力不从心了。
Have you saved up enough money so that you can hire somebody to take care of you for many years?
你说足够嘛也谈不上，但是每个月的退休工资再贴一点，应该还是差不多吧。但是你说你请一个居家保姆的话嘛，也受到条件影响，一个居住条件也不允许。当然，我们这点退休工资，再养一个保姆也是蛮困难的。
When Grandma Lu had surgery, her daughter came from Canada to help out.
Is this the first time you came back?
No, not first time.
No, I mean to help your mother.
To help my mother, yeah. Initially, this time I will come back because last year my daughter's March break, we came back to see my mom.
Oh.
Yeah, so this year, I don't think I'll come back this time, but she was just diagnosed with breast cancer. So yeah, I can.
But it's wonderful that you can come back. It's
Yeah,
so difficult.
and it's the summertime, so my in-laws are there, so they can take care of my daughter. Right?
Oh, it's complicated.
Yeah, I know. Otherwise, I have to take her back too, right? Because
Yeah.
nobody's there. My husband's working too, right?
Oh, so your husband's parents went to Canada
Yeah,
to take care of your daughter.
my daughter, so I can
so
take
come
back.
here to
So
take care of your
yeah,
mother.
that's right.
Although children would love to take care of their elderly parents, for many families, China's one-child policy has made staying at home after retirement no longer possible.
There's so much change in Chinese society today. Are they causing concern among you and your friends as you see all Chinese traditions being radically changed?
应该有。本来嘛，原来是兄弟姐妹多嘛，就是自己家庭里面可以解决。现在就是要打破那家庭观念了。朋友，你家里面呢，你要靠小的根本靠不住，因为他们工作也挺忙的。你白天嘛，一般都是真的空巢老人都是很孤独的。
When I'm with Grandma Lu, a nephew from Hong Kong arrives. Because he lives far away, his visits are rare.
Lifetime employment.
To show his respect, he brings a symbolic gift. An amulet with some money.
身体健康啦，对啊，我就这样子就1、2年过来看你。
You have one child?
One child.
Oh, how old is?
5 years.
5 years old?
Yeah.
You're not going to have more children or just one?
Just one.
The people of your generation, the young generation, do you worry about the burden that you have to take care of your parents and what happens to China as we have only one child and everybody gets older? There's a big burden on everybody.
父母因为有退休工资，所以不是负担这么，但是他如果生病的话，负担就觉得很重了。
Retirement problems are universal problems, but in China, a newly mobile society exacerbates the dislocations of a rapidly aging population. The Chinese people now speak about family modes of 4, 2, 1. This means that a couple of 2, on the one hand, have to raise 1 child, and on the other hand, have to care for parents on both sides, which is 4 elderly people. Responding to the aging society, Shanghai is the first city in China to extend the retirement age. The new flexible retirement policy enables some males to retire at age 65 and some females at 60. To provide retirement income, Shanghai will test the first personal tax-deferred pension insurance system. Change is rapid and old ways no longer work. Innovation is needed. China's new leaders, led by President Xi Jinping and Premier Li Keqiang, promise that reform is real, change is happening, and the Chinese dream will come true. Nowhere is this more visible or more difficult than in healthcare, education, housing, retirement. High expectations is a double-edged sword. On the one edge, China's leaders have more political capital to effect reform. On the other edge, the Chinese people, holding 1 billion cell phones, are watching closely. High expectations, unfulfilled, can be combustible. How China's new leaders fare will depend on their actions, not on their words. China's people will decide.